No, you're not frozen. It's just I can tell that like things are a little bit wonky on my end, but
we're live.
Looks like we are live, but nobody's here yet. So
really? How come I see 5 waiting?
According to this, it says 0 watching, but it might take a second for that to.
Oh, just play back.
Oh, yeah. There's 5. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yay! There's people watching. Woo!
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Welcome to the Blushing Bluestocking Society live show for January.
Yeah.
If you don't know who we are, I'm Rachel from Rachel Reads and Sings. This is the channel that you're on right now. And yeah, I just finished the book like 6 minutes ago. So that's where we are today, guys. That's what's happening.
It's fresh in her mind. So she's gonna once again lead the discussion.
Right.
Because I read it on Saturday, so I completely just forgot most of the story anyways. But my name's Lisa, Remarkably Lisa. Welcome to the show. Rachel and I were just talking about personal stuff, but we didn't have enough time to catch up. So do we want to start with life updates first then, Rachel? Or do we want to start with actual serious things?
We can start with the book first, and then we can get into like
okay, fine.
So, because Melissa brought up some things. So she gave it 3 stars. That's totally fair. Melissa also said my 4th Bateman, and that I've tried, and I've given them all 3. I think that's fair too. This was not my favorite Kate Bateman. I have now read, how many have I read? 6 books at this point, because I read that whole trilogy that was like To Catch an Earl and The Princess and the Rogue. I gave The Princess and the Rogue 5 stars, and then I loved A Reckless Match and A Daring Pursuit, books 1 and 2 of this series. So I went into this with high expectations. I ended up giving it 4 stars. So I did enjoy it, but it wasn't like my absolute favorite. So Lisa, you can also like give your rating. I'm going to go through some comments.
Yeah, I think I'm the same with Melissa. Me and Melissa sometimes have different ratings, but this one we are the same. Woot woot, 3 out of 5 stars for me too as well. And then as for all 3 stars, like I feel like for Kate Bateman, like I read maybe like a handful of her books now, like maybe 5, and some of them were 3.5 out of 5 stars, but some of them I felt like if I gave them 4 stars, it felt like a very forced 4-star. It's interesting, but it's like it's not like a solid 4 out of 5 for me.
It's interesting because I see someone's comment that they love the first, didn't like the second, love this one. The second book is my favorite of this series. I love
I never read that one yet.
I love it. I think it's Kate Bateman's best book that I've read. It even made my top 10 historical romances of 2022. Like I really loved that book. I know Jen really loved it too. It's a really, really good one. And I think that it's just that the romance is more interesting in that one. And like, it's a better frenemies with benefits to lovers romance. Well, this is a different trope, but yeah. Yeah, I agree, Justin. Daring Pursuit is better. Yeah, I gave it 4 stars. It was a good time. It
was fun. I agree with that.
Yeah. Which books have you read by Kate Bateman?
Let me double check. I read like let me double check so I know exactly which ones. So like how she writes under K.C. Bateman too as well?
Yes.
I read one of the other ones from her. Let me find the names. So the Bow Street Bachelor series, I read all 3 of those.
Okay, I've read those too.
And then I read A Reckless Match. The second one, A Daring Pursuit. I never read that one yet.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's my personal favorite.
And then let me look for the K.C. Bateman one that I read.
Also, Alicia, I'm very happy to see that you loved this and it was your first Kate Bateman. Yeah, I really, what I love about Kate Bateman's books, the ones that I love have like fantastic banter. I think that she's really great at writing banter overall. And Yeah, they're just like, her books are like candy to me. Like, I can just read one and just be happy and like have a good time. Most of them haven't been like life-changing books for me, but they're just like a good time.
The one Casey Bateman book that I read was To Steal a Heart, and it's a Secrets and Spies series. And I gave that one a 5 out of 5. And I read that
nice.
I think I read that like a long time ago, like 2016, and I remember vividly me reading it on a bus ride home.
What was the title of that one?
To Steal a Heart.
Oh, I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah. Very few have read it. Very low ratings right now, like only 979 ratings, but sitting at a 4 overall.
Yeah. I'm also glad, Hazel, that you gave this 5 stars. Really happy to see that you guys were really enjoying this. I love that you're here for the vibes. I'm here for the vibes.
Yeah. Vibes is number 1.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair. Daring Pursuit, Earl of Mine. The Earl of Mine was my least favorite of that series. That's the Bow Street Bachelors. My favorite is The Princess and the Rogue of that series in particular. But yeah, I don't even know like what to discuss about this book. Like, I don't know. It was a good time and I gave it 4 stars. Like I've heard good things about The Promise of a Kiss. Is that the one? There's one that she's written that was like medieval era, and then there's one that she wrote that like takes place in Egypt. I'm very intrigued about both of those. Those are both like Casey Bateman books. Yes. Again, I love her banter. I love Kate Bateman's banter. Reckless Match, I loved that romance, but the plot wasn't my favorite, but I still gave it 5 stars just because, like, again, the banter and like the romance was really great. And then Daring Pursuit had both for me, like a really good plot and really great romance and all of that. And yeah, I liked how this ended the series. It was just like, the little epilogue and how the older spinster aunts were like, well, you guys haven't met like the crazy Davies or whatever. And Reese is like, wait, what? There's more of you? I think that's going to go into her newest series, her next series. Ooh, yeah. I definitely want to read her backlist.
Yeah.
Casey Bateman stuff. She also kind of recently came out with like a Christmas novella under that name. It's like Orchids and Mistletoe, but I think that's technically a part of that other series, like one of her other series. But the cover is beautiful for that novella.
I feel like all Kate Bateman's books are beautiful. Like A Wicked Game is gorgeous.
I know. I love this cover, and it makes me so sad that like some authors like still have these beautiful covers, and then some authors are getting these weird like modern like those like Bridgerton looking covers. I'm like, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of those covers.
But I feel like it's not enough yet. Like, not enough people are changing to the weird Bridgerton covers yet. Like,
good.
I feel like,
yeah.
We still got a good mix. Wait, hold on. I need to go get this other book.
Yeah, I agree, Melissa. Cute moments. I love the cat and mouse game. I love that, like, so much of them, the betting back and forth and them being like, I dare you to do this. I dare you to do this. And like the 3 kisses thing and like the banter was really good as well. But yeah, this one just didn't like grip me quite as much as A Daring Pursuit did. But
yeah, I felt like this one was just like more fun times. Like it was just like fun little things that got resolved very quickly. Like somebody was copying her maps and then solved. Like no issue.
Right. And then the brothers showed up and they solved it. Right.
Yeah, and it was fun, and he was there to support her and everything. I was just showing the new Megan Frampton book, and it's more modern style, but I still really like it. I think it's very pretty.
I like the font.
Yeah. Too. I'm excited to read it because I know you don't like Megan Frampton, and I know we're supposed to still be talking about Kate Bateman, but This series is called A School for Scoundrels, and her last book in the series was really good. I liked it. So I'm excited to read this one. 4 weeks of scandal. So I'll be reading this very soon.
Yeah, with just a girl in a dress, that's weird. Yeah, those modern covers, yeah.
And
well, the worst is that new cover for 9 Rules to Break When Romancing a Rake by Sarah McLean. That is such a weird modern cover for that book. When the original cover is beautiful, in my opinion. Like, what? It's just so strange. Melissa wants to read that book. I'm waiting for someone to find a Megan Frampton book that is a 5-star, that is like a home run. Like, I don't know anyone who has given any of her books 5 stars.
Wait, I think I did give one that was 5 stars. Let me look for it. I remember me loving it.
Yes, I also hope that, because we didn't get Reese's romance in this series, but this series is only going to be 3 books. Like, this is it. So I'm hoping that Reese will end up with one of the Crazy Davies as well in her next series. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty sure Reese is going to be he's going to be a hero probably in her next series, but she hasn't announced anything yet, which I'm a little surprised, but at the same time, this book did just come out at the end of last month, but we haven't gotten anything new from Kate Bateman yet in terms of like announcements or anything. I agree with this, Justin. The plot was a bit weak. Yeah. It was a bit weak. And for me, this book and this romance started out so good. At first, I was like, this is going to be another home run. This is going to be another 5-star for me. Because like the banter again, like it was just like right off the bat, so good. And like you could tell that how obsessed these two were with each other for like years, and like the 3 kisses bet, and then he went off to war and he was a prisoner of war and like all of that. And then like I feel like once he came back, I wasn't quite as invested actually. Like, I don't know. Something about the pacing of the romance or something wasn't as gripping to me as the very beginning.
All right, the 5 out of 5 stars for me from Megan Frampton was called Lady Be Reckless. I gave it 5 out of 5.
What does that cover look like? I'm trying to.
It looks like, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I vaguely recall that.
Part of the Duke's Daughter series. So yeah.
Yeah. I agree, Linda. Yeah, they were already in love with each other. And like there was angst, but at the same time there wasn't angst. I don't know.
Yeah, I felt like it was more of like a fun romantic comedy, historical romance.
Except with the plot of like the Napoleonic War and like the villain and stuff. Like I don't know. And I thought that was like well done enough. You know, it wasn't like that plot didn't take over the romance by any means. Like it was featured just enough. And of course, at the end of the book, like you knew he was going to show up and try to kill somebody. You know. Oh, she liked that Megan Frampton book too.
It was a good one. I really enjoyed it.
I rarely give 5 stars, so I take my 4s highly. Oh, Melissa, aren't you a fan? You're a fan of Joanna Shupe, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you really loved The Bride Goes Rogue. You'll have to let me know. But The Duke Gets Even is our book club pick for next month. And
I already got it in the mail.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
My pre-order is coming very soon, and I just got my hold came in already for the audiobook off of Libby. So I was like, all right, I'm looking out over here.
I'm going to use the Audible credit once again.
Yes, I ended up having to use an Audible credit for this audiobook because my hold just wasn't coming in. And so literally like last night, I'm like, oh my God, I need to start this book. And so I just had to use an Audible credit. And, you know, so I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes to make live shows.
And it wasn't a long audiobook. That's what's good about it. It was
only like 8 hours.
8 hours. It was so fast. It was so fun.
And I like that narrator. She's good.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard her narrate a ton of historical romances that I've listened to, but I like her narration.
Mm-hmm.
I did like the interactions between the brothers because you don't see that in the first 2 books. You don't get to see the brothers, like all 3 of them together. So yeah, I agree. I liked that. And you got to see like the cousins together because like Maddie and Harriet are cousins. Yeah. Like I do remember I was like listening to the audiobook last night and all of a sudden this whole conflict got introduced of like this dude being back in London and like the maps and stuff. And I was like, wait, I was just here for the romance. Like, what's happening now? Like, yeah. Yes, Melissa. I'm so happy you gave The Lady Gets Lucky 5 stars and all of Uptown Girls 5 stars. Yeah, those are Lady Gets Lucky is like my top Joanna Shupe favorite, and I love the Uptown Girls series as well. And then Brad Goes Rogue, I really enjoy. I mean, I ended up giving that 5 stars, but I'm very, very excited for The Duke Gets Even. Nice. Yeah, I have an arc for The Duke Gets Even, and I never got to it. And so I was like, all right, I'm just going to get the audiobook.
Yeah. I think like Jessica already read the Joanna Shupe book too as well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think I saw like she posted a reading blog today.
Yes.
And it was all in there. Yeah. Yay. Oh, I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so excited for that book because that romance has been built up since I didn't read book 1 of the series because like everybody's given it like 2 or 3 stars. Lisa, have you read that one, The Heiress Hunt?
No, I didn't because it's so low rating and I don't want to waste my
time.
Low
rating. Yeah,
it's so low.
Like it's bad. It's bad. Which is so crazy because like how does Joanna Shupe go from The Devil of Downtown is one of my like top favorites by her, the pink cover, and then that book everybody gives it like 2 or 3 stars.
Yeah. What?
It's a beautiful cover though.
I know, but like oh wait, did anybody talk about how like the Photoshop is really bad and somebody's like her hand is down here too?
What?
Yeah, her hand is right here. But her hand is also
what?
Yeah, there's like it's under H.
That's so strange. That is so weird.
That's actually so funny. What the heck? This they tried to extend her dress. Oh no, they repeated it. It's like a ghost image of him too.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair though, the first book being the hardest. But some of my favorites by her have been the first books of the series. Like I really loved Magnate, which is book 1 of her Knickerbocker Club series, and then I really loved The Rogue of Fifth Avenue as well. But yeah, I had a feeling that was like this series was like a hard one for her to set up. But don't read it. Just say yes, that's where she plays tennis. Don't read the book. Okay, we're not going to read The Heiress Hunt. We know now.
But like I don't get it. Why are they playing tennis?
It's just a scene that happens in the book because like that's like a very usual thing for Joanna Shupe is that she'll throw in like Devil of Downtown. They were bowling, and then like Duke Gets Even. I've heard there's like an indoor swimming pool scene. Like there's always something like interesting that she throws into the mix.
Okay.
The conflict had me. You like adventure and he likes adventure. You're compatible. Right, exactly. There was like some angst in this, but like it wasn't necessary. Like I was like, girl, you really don't need to like try to like hold yourself at arm's length from him. Like when he first proposed to her and he was like, I love you. And she's like, no, you don't. I'm like, okay, girl. Oh, you gave it 4 stars. That's the first I've heard of anybody giving that book more than 3 stars, honestly, truly.
I kind of want to just read it to see how bad it is.
I know, me too.
I think we should just read it as a joke, you know what I'm saying? Like just an add-on and like an add-on. Like an add-on to our next book. But then we're meeting. So like we already picked it, but we're meeting on February 11th for our next meeting. So not sure if we're going to have time to squeeze in.
That's true. It's so early. So yeah. Just to reiterate, so our next live show is going to be February 11th. Did we want to do the same time, like the 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time?
And it's Saturday, right? This time is not Friday.
Yes, it's a Saturday this time, and we are talking about The Duke Gets Even by Joanna Shupe. So excited. But yeah, it's early this month because I have an opera gig coming up for the entire second half of February.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I'm going to be out of town the entire second half of February into the beginning of March.
Wow.
And so for me, it was like, I got to try to get things done in like the first half of February.
Is it multiple shows?
Yeah. It's so I'm doing an opera, an Italian opera.
Ooh.
And the performances are the entire first weekend of March. So I'm coming in a couple weeks before to just kind of step in and get all my blocking and, just kind of do the show. So yeah, it's gonna be a quick process, but it's gonna be fun as well because I haven't done a gig like this in a while.
I think it's gonna be really exciting.
Yeah, I am very excited.
Yeah.
A bad Joanna Shupe is still a pretty. I kind of agree with that. I need to silence my phone because now things are what is happening right now? But I agree because like any Joanna Shupe books that I haven't loved, I don't think I've given any of her books that I've read less than 4 stars actually, now that I'm thinking about it, which is another reason why I'm staying away from the Heiress Hunt because I'm like, I don't want to find a bad one. I don't want to like yeah. Oh, I don't think it's horrible. Yeah, just not my fave. True, because I'm sure there's going to be stuff about them because I know that romance has been built up since book 1. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard that like something happens in the Heiress Hunt. Like there's like a particular scene or something, and yeah, a lot of people just don't love it. So
okay, now I'm curious, and you know what? When I'm curious, I read the book. So maybe I will read it.
I mean, you already have a copy.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, I have the audiobook too. Like it's easy to borrow now that it's not like new.
Right. It's been out for a few years, so it's not in high demand. I know. I feel like so this is my thing. I think I'm gonna read The Duke It's Even, and at some point, maybe later this year, I'm just gonna read the whole series. So I'm gonna read Heiress Hunt and then reread the last 3 books and see how I feel about it. Melissa, watch Lisa. I feel like Lisa would because
probably I tend to like everything that everybody hates and then hate everything that everybody likes. Like Joanna Shupe and I, we don't really get along. We're like an average 3 out of 5 star rating for Joanna Shupe and I. So yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
I know some people who love historical romance, but like don't love her books. I mean, it's not that uncommon. I feel like her books are just a different vibe. They're just, wait, what star rating did you give this book?
3.
Okay.
Yeah, same as Melissa.
Cool.
Melissa and I.
Yeah, but something we said in the last live show is that we've been surprised that for the most part we've been agreeing on our rating for books because usually that's not the case for Lisa and I.
Yeah, we're not.
I'm waiting for us to read a book that I'm going to give 5 stars and you're going to give it like 2 stars. So.
Yeah, we're leading the right way, at least.
Right. That's true. Yeah, because the Uptown Girls trilogy, in my opinion, was just like so amazing. So maybe like people were just so hyped. And then I know that the Heiress Hunt has to do with kind of a Bachelor-like plot. Or like the hero is being pursued by multiple women. And so that's probably, not for everybody.
I was just thinking, because I totally forgot, but I read a lot of historical romances last weekend, and I was reading physically a Teresa Medeiros book.
Which one?
A Kiss to Remember.
Okay.
is so fucking good. I gave it 5 out of 5. It's my favorite historical romance so far this year. It's also one of the very few that I've read this year already, but it's so good. The hero has amnesia and he like gets told that he is this villager, but he's not. He's actually a duke. And he's living this plain, simple life with this heroine, and the heroine needs to marry him because then she can own the house. And then little does she know the Duke owns the house, and she realizes that she married the Duke that she despises. Yeah, so it's so good. I'm gonna go film a video about all the books that I've read recently for historical romances, and
nice.
This is the one that I'm gonna recommend everybody to check out and read. So
well,
good.
For me, Teresa Medeiros has been 2 for 2. I read her Cabot duet last year and adored both of those books.
Yeah.
Book 2 was my top favorite historical that I read last year. Like I truly, those are paranormal historical romances, and there's something about her writing that just like sucks you in.
Yeah.
He will not let you go. Like it's crazy. So I definitely need to read more of her backlist. Unfortunately, like we talked about, she doesn't have audio.
Doesn't have a freaking audio book.
I know.
And I was telling you about this, Rachel, right? I was telling you about A Kiss to Remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then A Kiss to Remember is so fucking funny. I know I just keep swearing. I'm just dropping F-bombs. But like I was drinking my tea while reading my book, trying to be all hipster cute, but I snorted so bad that the tea went onto my book and my bed, and I'm like, perfect. So I was like, okay, I cannot drink tea and read Teresa because she's too funny. I feel like she might be like the original Tessa Dare, like before.
Yeah,
Tessa
and
Dare
even in that Cabot duet, which is a pretty serious duet, like there were moments that genuinely made me laugh out loud, and I did not expect that. Yeah,
that's so funny. Okay, anyways, but I know we're talking about random books right now, but this is on my nightstand, Charming the Prince, and so far I think he has to take care of a dozen children. So I love it when guys get thrown into the babysitter role. So I'm gonna be excited.
I'm just gonna go back and look at a few comments. I agree. The Uptown Girls series would make a really great TV show. Like, yeah, it'd be like a steamier version of Gilded Age. Though I haven't watched that show, but I've heard good things about it
either.
The Story of My Life. Oh, good. I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, a lot of people read her Beauty and the Beast retelling because it was for the historical romance readathon. And did you read it, Lisa?
No, so I have this book somewhere on my shelf and I can't find it. But I want to read this one. So I am gonna go look for it on my shelf.
That's crazy.
This is the one that I wanted to read. This is the one that I found. So I will read it. I will read it.
Yeah. That's fair though.
But
I've heard really amazing things about that one, the Beauty and the Beast. I think it's like what, Yours Till Dawn or something like that. I'm actually going to read that.
What? I like that one too.
Oh, the group pick? Yeah.
I think I gave that one maybe like a 3 out of 5 stars. And then Lacey and Jessica probably gave it 4.5 or 5 out of 5. Like they really enjoyed it. And I enjoyed it too.
Mm-hmm.
Charming the Prince is on my TBR.
But I have Yours Until Dawn on my, that like 12 Friends challenge. I think it was Christy. She recommended that I read it. So I'm going to read it at some point this year. But I'm excited.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
No, nothing. I was just saying, like, I'm just dumb because everybody was saying Charming the Prince. I'm like, what book is that? And I realized I just held it up. Continue. I'm fucking dumb. Okay. Continue. I was like, the fuck is Charming the Prince? And then the book is right there. I'm so dumb. Continue. Yours Until Dawn.
Good one. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Justin. Yeah. Teresa Medeiros, I've heard really great things about because Historical Hellions read, what was it, Whisper of a Rose for their book club a few months back, and everybody like loved it. So I'm gonna read that at some point as well.
Yeah.
Thought it was only okay. Yes,
Okay, let me
definitely.
know which one, Hazel, when you figure it out.
Yeah,
So
when
that
you figure it out,
yeah,
right?
you figure it out. You let me know in this chat, okay? I'll be waiting for you.
Definitely try After Midnight, book 1 of the Cabot duet, and then what was the one that you just recommended, Lisa?
A Kiss to Remember.
Just to remember. I'm gonna have to try
Yeah.
that one out. Yeah. Loved it. Yeah, love those
Yeah.
books.
I'm excited.
Mhm.
I read Kate Bateman as my first historical romance of this year.
Oh,
And
really?
it was my first one. I know, I'm so slow in historical romances now.
Me too. I'm not really in the mood right now to read them.
I know, but it's like disappointing since like I had a whole year where I was dedicated to historical romances, and then I started going into contemporary romances more.
All
But
right, Hazel's got the hookup for you.
all right, you go pull this on. You let me know. I want to figure which book you didn't like, so I can be like judge it with you too as well. But no, this A Kiss to Remember has like really just like made me love historical romances again. But like we said, there are no audiobooks, and I just
I
don't have
know.
time to sit down all the time to read physically. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, lately I've yeah, I want to get back to historicals. I'm hoping that the Duke gets even. Maybe will spark me wanting to get back into historicals, but at the moment I'm into like darker contemporary
Mm.
romances. Well, and then I've been reading a lot of fantasy for like, well, we've been doing the read along, the Folk of the Air read along. And then yeah, I'm just like, this is the first, not the first historical I've read this year, because I read The Awakening of Ivy Leibold by Sierra Simone.
Oh,
That
okay.
that was really good. It's book 1 in a novella series. And it's just like a spicy Jane Eyre retelling.
Ooh.
So I'm excited to continue on with it because each novella is like 150 pages. So I like flew through it.
And
And
I like Sierra Simone too as well. So
she does a
I
good job with historical romance too. She doesn't write a lot of it, but she does a good job with it.
oh yes, in those like Duke I like to F and like
Oh
that
yeah, those
anthology.
anthologies.
Okay, all right, I
Yeah.
got it.
So yeah, book 1 was really, really good. It's got the Jane Eyre vibes, the gothic vibes. It's got like the morally gray hero, and like Sierra Simone is going to serve with the steam and the spice, and she definitely did. So I'm just excited to go forward into the series.
Some like it wicked. Oh, I know why you didn't like it. That one was a wacky one. I read that one. Like it was whack. Like this series was whack. It was a duology and it was just wild. It was wild, wild, wild. I felt like she was writing it as a joke because of like the plot was just everywhere. Characters were crazy and
Yeah,
bonkers. But I still really thought it was fun. I gave both books 4 out of 5 stars. I'm sorry. I just liked it.
yeah. Gentleman Seeks Bride. That's a Megan Frampton, huh?
Gentleman Seeks Bride.
I think it is.
I swear to God, that might be the one that I really liked. Okay, Gentleman Seeks
That's
Bride.
the one. She has like a purple gown, but it's like one of her new,
Uh,
like, new.
no. This one I gave it like let me see, a 3 out of 5. My rating was this was just sensual, but also very slow, and ultimately failed to keep my attention. That was my 1 sentence review.
That's how I felt about the one Megan Frampton book that I read. I read oh, what is it, like Never Kiss a Duke? She's wearing like a yellow gown on the
It's the
cover.
first book probably in the Hazards of Duke series, and I just read that one too, and I gave it 3 out of 5 too. And I know,
Oh, we
and
agreed. We agreed on
I
our rating.
agree. I agree. I read that this week. It's gonna be in the video that I'm gonna film this weekend. You'll see it. But I read your review and I laughed because I was like, this is the one that made you not like Megan Frampton, or at least like go, like you're just confused.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've noticed this, but when I first started that book, I got Tessa Dare vibes.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, something about it was like, kind of whimsical and like
Because
quirky and
he lost
funny.
his Duke title, right? And then
Yeah,
yeah.
there was some humor in there for sure. And then, yeah, it just like got so boring, so boring.
But you know what? I like the second one, Tall, Duke, and Dangerous. It's the pink cover, and I know it has 3.5 ratings, but I give it a 4 out of 5 stars because he was just like, you know, he was just like this man. He was a manly man.
A manly man.
Yeah, just a manly man.
Yeah, the bonkers old school historicals, they're not really my thing. There's only been a few old school historicals, so for me that's like pre 2000, that I've given 5 stars. You know, a lot of them I've given like 3 or 4 stars. They're not necessarily my vibe.
I've read some from Sandra Brown. They're like old Western historicals, and I freaking love them. And were they bonkers? Not really, but they were old. They're like 80s, but they're a 5 out of 5 for me. But she stopped writing historical romances. And it's just like romantic suspense. But a lot of my subscribers said the romantic suspense was good.
Speaking of Kindle Unlimited historical romances, I just found Christy just started recommending this on her Instagram because she's reading it right now for the Kindle Unlimited readathon. I need to find it. But it's like kind of a wacky rom-com, and I really like the vibe of the cover. It's called Get Thee Off My Lawn.
Oh shit, yeah, that's a nice one. That's a cute one.
Isn't that cute? And the meet cute is like her swan like finds its way onto the hero's property, and she's trying to get the swan back. Yeah, Christy said it's definitely like a rom-com, which like I haven't found all that many historical rom-coms. I feel like a lot of historical romances are a bit more serious. So I'm very intrigued. Like, I hope this makes me laugh. I want something that truly makes me laugh.
Yeah. I'm reading some like Kindle Unlimited historical romances right now. Like I'm currently in the middle of one, and it's from like Penny Reed's like line, like a publishing line. And it's from Lainey Hatcher, and it's like Neanderthal seeks Duchess. And it's different. Like it's different. Indian historical romances are different. Like the writing is more relaxed. It's more like, it's just chill. So it took a long time for me to realize like the writing was like going to be like this way forever. But it's okay. It's okay so far.
Yeah, Melissa, that's a really great point, is the consent issues and the way that women are talked about, and like, so it's like, why would I want to read that? But yes, it's called Get Thee Off My Lawn. And I'm really glad to see you liked it. I know that she has a couple of other books that are like full-length novels. One of them I think it's called like The Highwayman's Folly or something. I think Jen read it. I'll have to ask her if she liked it.
It's very fun. I agree.
Yep. I know. I finally am gonna read Heartless because the audio's out. Everybody's just been raving about that book.
Is this by Catherine? Like, is it by Catherine or Devaney? Which one is it?
This one is Elsie Silver. Oh, you thought it was Catherine Cowles or Devaney Perry?
Yeah, I thought it was Catherine Cowles or Devaney Perry. Like, I was just trying to pick a random like indie author.
So she wrote, Flawless and Heartless, and then she has one other series, but hers are like the cowboy small town romances.
I kind of want to read it just to see what the hype is. Don't want to read it because I'm like, what happens if I don't like it?
I loved Flawless, and everybody has loved Heartless. Like, I haven't seen anyone give that book less than 5 stars. Like, yeah, the hype is real.
Okay, not right now. My inner hipster is like, don't try it. Don't read it yet. I'll read it like mid-year.
Yeah, I'm excited. So we just announced, me, Samantha, Ava, and Tiffany just announced the Novellathon that is happening February 6th through the 12th. And so even though I already have like 15 novellas on my TBR, I just had to add Get Thee Off My Lawn because it just sounds so great.
Is it a novella?
It is. It's like 100 pages.
Okay, then I'm going to read it.
like 130 pages, something like that. But yeah.
Yeah. And then I think I missed your announcement. So now I'm excited because I'm going to go read all the novellas and have that as my excuse.
I know. I haven't binged novellas in so long. So long.
Oh, I see your videos now. Aw, so cute.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
we're
right,
really excited. We're very, very excited. And Tiffany designed all of these fun like Instagram story templates for it. And it's going to be a fun time.
Cute. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read novellas. I love novellas.
Yeah. Trying to think of like historical romance novellas. Courtney Milan has a lot. I've read Unlocked. That was really good. Nicola Davidson.
Yeah.
I read Duke I'd Like to F. I've yet to get to Rake I'd Like to F and then Villain I'd Like to F. But I want to get to those at some point soon. And then that series by Sierra Simone that I was talking about. I'm going to continue on with that series too.
You know, like one day during like the historical romance readathon, I just downloaded a bunch of historical romances that were under 100 pages because I wanted to read it for the readathon. So I do have a lot of random novellas. Ooh, Erica Ridley probably has short ones too for historical romances. I have a bunch of hers on my Kindle.
What authors do you have for novellas, for like shorter novellas?
For like historical romance or just like in general?
Historical romance.
I think like, I don't know if I'm like, I think it is, but like Bree Wolf, the spinster, that's probably short. Watch how I just lied to you right now. I wouldn't be surprised if I did lie to you.
Whoa, Linda, you're gonna like cause a riot, you DNF'd Heartless.
Linda, come back to me when I DNF it too, if I ever read it. Like, why am I? Maybe I'm just a hater.
Like, right, Casey Bateman. We were just talking about that. She has novellas. Yeah. Girl on the Train. Y'all, Kerrigan Byrne is not for me. I have now given like, I want to say 2 or 3 of her books like 2 stars or something. Like, she's not for me, unfortunately.
I don't think I'll like her because it's like too dark, too angsty.
It's very the only book of hers, I gave one of her books like 4.5 stars because it wasn't quite like, it was still dark, but the hero wasn't as much of an asshole, I feel like, as some of her heroes. That was the Duke with the dragon tattoo. I gave that one 4.5 stars, but like all of her other books, they're just like, they're not. I did like The Highwayman. I gave that one 4 stars. I'm gonna give y'all the tea. I gave The Hunter 2 stars, which was really funny because I read that specifically for a vlog where I was reading Tori's like favorite books ever, and I gave it 2 stars. But yeah, that one was not my favorite. I also really did not like what is it, Scott in His Bed or something? It's the one with like the orange and blue cover. And there's a plus-sized heroine. I gave that one like 3 stars. It's in that same series as like How to Love a Duke in 10 Days or whatever that series is called. The covers are beautiful, but I DNF'd How to Love a Duke in 10 Days. I think that's the last book I tried reading by her.
Sarah McLean, right?
No, this is Kerrigan Byrne.
Oh, what? She has one that is like okay, that's interesting. But honestly, I never even read one Kerrigan Byrne novel, so you already did a lot. Like, you read everything and then said, yeah, she's not for me.
Yeah, I've read a few. You know what I will say? I really liked, she wrote a Christmas novella. It's like, I can't remember the title, but it's like a ghost romance, and I actually really liked that one. But yeah, other than that, her books are to me, her books are even
Christmas
darker.
one, right?
Yeah, it's like the Ghost of Christmas Past or something. It's something like that. The Earl of Christmas Past. I liked that one. But her books to me are even darker than Elizabeth Hoyt's, which I think is really saying something. I really like Elizabeth Hoyt's like Maiden Lane series, but Kerrigan Burns are very dark. We vibe. Don't like dark. Don't like too much angst.
Yeah, life is hard. Why do I want to read about someone's harder life? It doesn't. I read to distress, not to go into somebody's really dark and angsty life.
Yeah, I think that's why you and Jess are always gonna like disagree on ratings because she loves angst. Like,
no, it's
angst
like,
is her thing.
Like when she recommends books, it's all angst. And I'm like, okay, I can't read this one, so I'll like pick the one that doesn't mention angst to read as a recommendation.
I've heard good things about the Highlander, but yeah, I'm just not, and I'm not invested. I mean, I'm not like motivated to pick up anything else by her. I've read enough. Yeah, The Highwayman, I gave that 4 stars. I liked that one. Yay! We both hated The Hunter. Love that for us. Yeah, it was the Scott in her bed. Yep, that was the one I gave 3 stars. I do want to try out Mary Balog, her Slightly Whatever series. I've heard really good things about that.
Yes, from Crystal. Crystal read a lot of her books, and she made me like interested to read it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I have this one. Margot Halifax Earns Her Scandalous Reputation. Yeah, I've heard good things about that novella. I have that one on my Kindle. Wait, Lexi, which Jessica Kane is a historical? I've read a lot of her novellas. Which one's historical? Oh man, I can't recall which one you're talking about. That's so funny. I do like romantic suspense though. It's just, to me, like with The Highwayman, for instance, that book is so dark and the hero is so emotionally unavailable. I can't with all that. I really can't. That's my thing, is like, if a hero is too emotionally unavailable, then I'm out. I'm like, that's not for me,
Like, grow up.
Yeah.
This is what I want to tell them.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to check out her books. A lot of her audiobooks are on Hoopla. Mary Balog.
But why can't they make her books?
No, literally, Lisa, one of her books is on audio, but it's not a book that I'm interested in.
Her Kin Clad series that like everybody says bonkers is on. Yeah. That one.
Really? Oh, yeah.
The bonkers ones are available.
Oh my god. Too funny.
Things are falling off my desk. I'm gonna freaking text to speech stuff soon. Get Alexa to read it if I have to at one point.
That's what I have to do a lot of the time, because
right,
you can get her to read up to like 2 times speed. So like, okay.
Yeah, and I guess it's better than not reading it and like walking around in silence. In
silence.
Yeah. Just play in the background.
Ooh, Sandra Brown. Okay.
That's what I just said, Sandra.
You did.
But I never read her romantic suspense. I read her Western historical romances that reminded me of Catherine Addison. Annie Song.
Yeah, I agree, Justin, because you can also like have her, there's different voices you can pick from, and there's different accents you can pick from if you want.
Not a lot of people have the Kindle Fire, but the Kindle Fire can do the text-to-speech from the Kindle app, and it can go 4 times the speed.
Yeah, so I tried that because you can do that on your phone.
Yeah.
But that voice is so robotic. Like at least with like the Alexa app and stuff, like that voice sounds kind of real.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I know. It can go up to like 4 times speed. I'm like, whoa. What is
game changer? Game changer.
Right. Yeah, I wish the Alexa just went like a little bit faster than 2 times speed, but I'm okay with it. It's fine. Anything else we want to chat about? I'm trying to think of like historical romance things.
And there's no historical romance things. Isn't it life update time from you?
It can be. It can be. So right before we went live, Lisa was like asking about like my personal life and stuff, and then we had to go live. So she was like, "Why don't we just chat about it on the live?" So if you guys want to hear about my audition for Dollywood, stay tuned. Like other than that, we'll see you on February 11th for our discussion of The Duke Gets Even.
Yep.
But yeah, I auditioned for Dollywood to be a singer / entertainer. And so it was interesting because the way that they do their auditions is different than how I've ever done an audition before. Like you do it in stages. So like the first stage was just like a pre-screening. Like they had us sing for like a few seconds, like not very much. They just wanted to hear if you're decent at all to be sent on to the next round. And so I got both a vocal callback and a dance callback, which is really exciting because I was really worried that I was gonna I traveled all that way. Like my mom and I took a road trip, and it's about like 9-10 hours from my house is Pigeon Forge. So I was really worried that like we spent all this time and money only for me to like not get a call back. So I did get a call back. And so yeah, I did that little pre-screening audition, and then they had us learn three potential songs that we could sing for the callback. So like we brought 2 songs for them, and then they were like, on top of that, be familiar with these 3 songs as well. And so I went in, I sang the 2 songs that I had prepared, which for that they were just like, bring in 2 songs in like the style that you do best. So I brought So Big So Small from Dear Evan Hansen, so a musical theater song, and then I brought, because it's Dollywood, they're gonna want country, right? So I brought Cupid's Got a Shotgun by Carrie Underwood.
I've never heard of that song, but it sounds fun.
Because it's not one of her singles. It's on her Blown Away album.
Okay.
But anytime I introduced it to the panel, or because there were a couple different panels, they were just like, "What is that song?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean it's by Carrie Underwood. It just was never a single, so like nobody's heard it." But so I sang both of those. Like we had to prepare like 45 seconds of each song. Sang that for them. And then one of the songs that they could pick from for the callback was Respect by Aretha Franklin. And so they were like, okay, sing that. And I was like, all right, this is probably the only time I'll ever sing this song. For real, So I did that, and it was fun because there was opportunity for me to like add riffs and do whatever. And then they had me read a monologue for one of the roles in one of their Christmas shows, because I applied to do both summer and Christmas. And for Christmas, they do a lot of like longer, like full length, maybe not full length, but like longer musicals and plays and stuff. So there's opportunity for like actual roles where you could have monologues and things like that. Whereas the summer, it's more so like concerts, right? So yeah. And then after that, we did our dance call, and that went really well. It was kind of intense though, because some dance calls I've done are like really simple and easy. And then this one was like pretty intense because like the combination they taught us was kind of long. Like usually for dance calls, like you only do like, I don't know, a few 8 counts, something like that. But for this one, it was like a solid minute of dancing that we had to learn. And it was some complex choreography. So I felt good about it though. Like I'm good at picking up choreography. I'm just like, I know I'm not the best dancer, but I can pick up what you teach me.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then after that, we were free to go. So all of that took about 3 hours.
Damn.
Damn. Yep. But at least I was really happy actually that they didn't because I've done some auditions where they let us go home for a couple hours and then come back for the callback. So I appreciate that they were like, no, it's like one right after another. You just go to a different station. And the dance call took the longest, obviously, because we had to learn something. We had to learn the combination and stuff. But yeah, they have one more audition on. Tomorrow, actually. They have one last audition day, and then I should hear relatively soon after that, after they're done all their auditions. So we'll see. I don't know. I've never done this kind of audition before, so I did not know what to expect going into like a theme park audition, but it was a fun time.
It sounds really fun.
And
it sounds very nerve-wracking though, because it's just like audition after audition, but I'm glad you like went through it and you did it.
Yeah, I'm glad that I went through with it, and you know, because there was definitely a point last year around the time when I was gonna like have to sign up for the audition where I was like, I don't know if this is for me or like whatever. And so I'm glad that I just did it, and I'm also glad that we got to stay in Pigeon Forge for a few days, and like that town is kind of crazy. It's honestly like Vegas for families. Like I didn't expect the level of like they have these like crazy museums and like all kinds of like entertainment and like rides, and like it's that town totally built up around Dollywood. Like it's crazy.
Did you explore or no?
A little bit, but I didn't really have time because like we got to Pigeon Forge like Friday evening, and then all of Saturday afternoon was my audition, and then Sunday morning we left. So like we didn't really have much time, but we did drive around a little bit, like going to get dinner and stuff like that. So it was like really cool to see like I said, like they have these like crazy museums, and like there's a lot of like go-kart places and like little
so fun.
Yeah, I wish that we would have taken a trip there when I was a kid. Like it just looks really fun.
Yeah. It's like a mini vacation.
It is. Yeah, it was just a little something, a little road trip, and my mom and and we brought our dog Chloe. And it was just fun. It was just
I saw the photos on Instagram, so I had to ask, and I was like, how was it? You know?
Yeah. Well, and now like people at work are like, so does that mean you're leaving? I'm like, I don't know anything yet, guys. Like, I don't know.
They're emotionally already preparing things because I feel like it sounds good so far.
I know. Well, it does sound good, but at the same time, something that I don't know that I was necessarily surprised by this, but it just kind of hit me. So what they did was they put us in groups of 8 people. And so you auditioned like with your group. So like we watched each other's auditions, which is unusual. You don't usually do that. But like pretty much everyone in our group was like really talented. And I was like, there's just so much talent out there, you know, like, so they could really it just depends on the type of performer that they want. Like, it doesn't mean that I'm not talented. It just means that like, I wasn't right for
the role,
for what they want. And, you know, it's fine, you know, but at the same time, I do kind of have high hopes because it seemed like they were impressed by me, but it's also hard to judge that in that kind of setting. So we'll just see. That's just what I keep telling everybody. We'll just see, because I really have no idea. This could go one way or the other. I don't know. I really don't know. Yeah. Linda, I don't know what that is. Parrot Mountain? I don't know. But that's one thing about driving to a place like Pigeon Forge. So in case you guys don't know, I am from and I live near New Orleans, Louisiana, which is as flat as you can get. It's below sea level. It's as flat as you can get. If you are driving on the interstate, you can see downtown New Orleans from miles away. That's how flat it is. So driving up to Pigeon Forge, like, you know, we're going up and down hills. And then once you get there, it's just surrounded by these beautiful mountains. And like, it's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful. I think it's like the Smoky Mountains is what it's referred to. But definitely, like, we're not used to that. We're not used to mountains here. So it was definitely something to be driving around.
I just searched Parrot Mountain, and it's just a lot of like parrots. It's just like a place to look at and view parrots. Yeah.
Okay. Well, if I do end up, see, this is the thing. My mom and I were talking, and we were like, okay, even if I don't get the gig, now that we've
Yeah.
realized how like amazing this town and Dollywood is, like we still want to take a trip over the summer at some point. So we'll definitely go back. Thank you guys for wishing me good luck. I'll let you guys know. I'll let everybody know.
Best of luck.
Thanks.
Best of luck.
Yeah.
So happy you did it.
Me too. Oh, a bird
And it sounds like a
parrot refuge. Yeah, like you said. Cool. I'll have to check it out.
I saw pictures. I saw pictures. It looked really nice.
I think we can wrap up this live show, huh? Like,
I think we touched on a lot of books. So it was another hit.
We ended up talking about a lot on this in an hour.
I may be biased because I'm a co-host, but I think it was a hit, guys.
Oh yeah.
Another successful show.
Every live show with us, Lisa, is a hit. Let's be real.
It is. It's so successful. Me just holding up books that people are mentioning and going like, what book is that?
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, it's the book I'm holding up. Everybody's like, Charming the Prince. I'm like, what is that book? And I was like, oh shit, it's this book.
Dead.
So dumb.
Oh my God, so funny. All right, everyone. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, and shout out to the 9 people who stuck out this whole time. Like, come on, this is y'all are the MVPs, right?
Yeah, now you know the real stories about us.
Oh, I'm so glad y'all enjoyed these.
Thank you. Thank you
so much. Well, I hope you guys join next month, which is going to be on Lisa's channel because we alternate every month.
Yes.
And yeah, you're welcome. We always have so much fun with this. So all right, guys, I hope y'all have a wonderful night, a wonderful rest of your weekend, and we will see you guys later. Bye.
Thank you.